I just want to say thank you to everyone who watches my YouTube channel. And if you don't think a Savannah monitor will play tug of war, you're wrong. Because they will. And they're actually really good at it. There we go. So if you guys like my videos, ooh, he's strong. Please go ahead and leave a like. That helps grow my channel. Also, please comment on my videos. I love interacting with you guys. It's a lot of fun, and I get to answer questions and see that you guys care. And if you're not a member of the family, you can go ahead and subscribe. It's free. It helps me grow the channel even more. And I've listened to you guys, and I do have a Patreon down below. Oh, alligator death roll. So please go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, bell icon. Okay, so here's a really important video, and I kind of talked about this before with Pixie frogs, but I have to do it again. So many people have Pixie frogs, whether they're babies or adults. They have Pixie frogs that look great, they're doing great one day, and then they're dead the next. Why is that? I'm going to tell you guys right now, it's always 99% because of this. What is this? It's water. Not a trick question. Your water is dirty. Now, this is just clean tap water, not from my reverse osmosis tap. It's not distilled, it's warm tap water. I'm going to be putting in some Stress Coat Plus. This is really good for tap water, just a little bit. There's not a lot in here. It cleans your tap water, makes it safe, you know, dechlorinates heavy metals, etc. Makes it safe for fish and amphibians. We're going to mix that around. But the problem is, I don't think people understand the whole story. So, I put that in this water because I'm going to be taking my frog out of his tank, which is right here, which is just like a muddy undertone, and I'm going to be putting him in that tap water because he's not going to be in here because I'm going to be cleaning this. What does that mean? So notice that this Pixie frog does not have a water fixture. Pixie frogs drink, and most frogs drink and hydrate through their skin, okay? So the water that they're in is the water that they drink and everything. So sometimes people think, hey, because I have a water enclosure, like a pool, a waterfall. You saw it, my first Pixie frog had a nice big water thing with a filter. If you have water, guys, you need to filter that thing heavily. It needs to have a charcoal filter. And you need to make sure you replace your charcoal when it's no longer cleaning the water. Because Pixie frogs poop, but more importantly, they pee in their water. And the pee is the silent enemy. Because sometimes these guys will pass, and I've talked about it before, sometimes they will pass larger chunks of white urate, but a lot of times, guys, they just pee what looks like water. It's just liquid pee. And because of that, you don't know. So right now he's sitting in his little mud enclosure. I know what to kind of look for, but in some aspects, I'm going to point this out and you're going to see it, but otherwise you would just say, hey, this is like cocoa fiber mud. It's, you know, it's fine. Well, no, he's peed in here. You know, not right now, but I know he's peed in here. And I know he's pooped in here. And it gets buried, it gets mixed in, and then, you know, I hydrate it, and he absorbs that, and there's bacteria in that poop and pee, and that is what kills your frog. Most of the time, it's not the water that you've given him a temporary bath in. Whether you use Stress Coat or not, he's only in that temporary bath for a short period of time. It's this water. It's the water underneath. It's his pee, it's his poo that he's absorbing. So I'm going to take him out. I'm going to put him in that bath that I've already treated, so it's good for him. And we'll look at it. All right, so he's in there, which is good, so he can pee out all of those toxins, and that's clean water and absorb some fresher water. But, okay, so this is just, you know, it's just muddy, right? But I know there's pee in here, and I know there's poo in here. And actually, if you start to know what to look for with poop, you can start to track it down. So one thing is, I know this guy eats insects. Let's see if you guys can tell. This is a good spot right here. Right, let's turn the light on. That might make it better. So I know that this was clean cocoa fiber. So I know that there was nothing else in this. There's no rocks. There's not different types of dirt. I know what it goes in. It's a brick of eco earth. So when I start to look, and I see things like this, and it might be hard for the camera to pick up. Let's see if I scoop some of it without kinda. You can find insect legs, insect wings. There's actually a big. Ooh, let me see if I can get this. Oh, it's on top of the. There we go. You'll see right here. See that reflective? That's a wing of a dubia roach. So he's pooed in this, and he's peed in this, and then he sits in it, and he absorbs it, and then he repees it, and he repoops it, and it all goes over. But so anyways, those chemicals over time, they kill your frog. They can just kill your frog one day. It happens over time, but you don't know. So your frog looks wild, but he's drinking his own pee and poop over and then it's kind of like that Jay and Silent Bob scene. And if you're too young, don't look it up. But, they talk about what they should do with their poo, and the guy needs to eat it and then, regurgitate it and re-eat it, and then it's a mixture, blah, blah, blah. So we need to clean this. So what I'm doing today, and I do this because I give him baths, and he mostly poos in the water there. This I clean 2 or 3 times a year is what I like to do, because he doesn't go to the bathroom in here often. It does happen. Sometimes it is dry and I can catch it, but most of the time, because he gets his double bath in an actual clean of water, it's not bad. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and phase 1, scoop out all of this eco earth into a garbage bag, and then you're going to take a look at that. All right, guys? Okay, and this is what we're with after I've taken a majority of it out, and it's kind of nice. Some people get to see the bottom of the enclosure. So there's my Zoomed heat mat. It's really important, guys, that your Pixie frog has above and under heat if you really want a healthy frog, to really help with them being able to basically cycle their spots. So if you do under tank heating, you need to make sure that it's really no more than half the bottom, because they've got to be able to go to that heat and burrow in the heat, but also get off the heat. There's a lot of area in the front of the tank here, and burrow where it's cool. So like this area gets cool/cold. It's also near the front of the tank, so closer to the elements, where the rest is not. But when they want to get hot, they can go here. But that above heat, I have a ceramic heat emitter on the top of the small section of the screen that I leave open. That's good to just help with the humidity, help evaporate stuff, because this under tank heater is not going to really evaporate a lot of the stuff off. But it's okay. So, and the above the tank one is on the thermostat probe. I've obviously pulled out all the fake foliage, and the below one just runs 24/7. Just runs 24/7, but because there's dirt, on top of it, it heats that whole area really nice. So good temp. So now that everything is out and you've seen the bottom, I'm going to go ahead with paper towel and clean out all of this before we spray it down and disinfect it. So let me go ahead and wipe this out. Okay, and then it's about, I'd say, 99.9% clean. There's a little bit of some dirt left. That's okay, because we're going to spray this down, clean it, and then at the end I hit it with the shop vac. Now guys, I'm not going to lie, cleaning reptile enclosures, it stinks, right? Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, it's great, no big deal. But, these guys didn't ask to be your pet. You chose them. You got to do what's right to take care of them. This is Reptile Safe Cleaner. I don't take any credit for it. Snake Discovery, watch her video. She goes over how to mix it, dilute it. It's the best stuff. Completely safe for them after like being on here for like 10 seconds. So you get a huge tub of it, and then you just dilute it, and it lasts forever, which is really good. But these guys didn't ask to be your pet. You chose them. They didn't choose you, and you need to do what's right for them. So I've sprayed it. I'm going to go ahead and wipe this thing all down, get it all super dry and soaked up, and then we're going to replace the substrate, okay? The foliage, that's just in the sink, in the utility sink in my basement. I'm just going to wash that with some hot water to get it clean. Then I'm going to spray it, and then I'm going to rinse it, and then we're going to bring it back. So hopefully when we cut back, we got new clean substrate in here, and the foliage is back. All right, let's get that done. Ta-da! This is it's all set. Probe is now dangling correctly right here. New substrates in. We cleaned the foliage. It's back in. Just the design. You know, anyone, just guys, if you have a pixie frog or really any reptiles you have that you're able to plant other than a chameleon, because chameleons for me, they never dig up the plants. They just eat them because they're savages. But if you're able to do live plants, I just get no luck, because think about it, a live plant that's got a deep root system in the substrate, it's absorbing excess water, it's absorbing toxins out of the substrate, it's helping with humidity. I can't get any of that. So, when you put this in, obviously guys, through the cleaning process, the tank doors have been opened. So, it is not 85 degrees inside this tank anymore. The double doors of the Exoterra have been opened up, and I've, cleaned it and vacuumed it and done everything. It is now, room temperature, 70 degrees, whatever. The heater is obviously on, the ceramic heat emitter that's up at the top, but that doesn't matter because the doors are open. So my key is I use pretty hot water when I make the Eco Earth. By the time it goes in here, it's still pretty warm. So by the time I shut this, this comes up to temp really quick. So we're going to grab the frog. He's nice and full of his clean water. And look at him. Look at that big boy. We're going to put him in. He's so tame. We hung out the other day. He likes to watch YouTube, I found out. And we're going to put him in his enclosure. And that's it. I'm going to shut these doors. We got to clean these doors. We're going to shut those doors, and we're going to watch the temperature already. I can look at the temperature probe. It's at 68 degrees. Now it's already at 69, 69.5, etc. So that's real good. Okay, guys. Like I said, if you had a pixie frog that died, or you want a pixie frog, guys, you should have this frog for 15 plus years. So clean the soil. Oh, he's already making himself at home. Wouldn't it be great if he just took a huge dump right there? His nice clean tank. It'd just be great, because that's what they often do. But like I said, these should be 15-year pets, or more, but at least 15. Keep the water that's in the tank clean. And a lot of times, like I said, people who think just because they don't have water fixtures that their substrate is clean, it's not. If you really look through it, you'll find probably, like I said, those remains of its foods that just got mixed in, and there's no way you can see the pee. Take care, guys. Okay, and as a final part of this video, I just wanted to show you guys his tank the next day. So now he's been in it overnight. When we put him in it, there was it was all flush and it was all level. So let's see what he's done, because again, people who think these pixie frogs need these giant tanks, they really don't. I've even, filmed him overnight. They don't really do much, and even in the wild, they just stay under like a wet bush. But let me show you. So here in this corner, on the heat mat area, he dug himself a little hole, and that's where he went down. Here, let me move this little foliage. He made himself a little cooler hole here. This is very cold dirt. This is in a cool area. That's very warm. This dirt is very warm. And then in this corner, underneath the foliage. There he is. He's made himself another heat area. Now this corner is actually underneath where the ceramic heat dome is to keep the ambient hooked up to that thermostat. But remember, you know, always vigilant. You guys gotta watch. I gave this guy a nice long soak yesterday. Remember, people are like, oh, he doesn't poo or they don't pee in their enclosure. Well, I know he did both sometime overnight. Why? How do I know this? Because of this. This is a giant piece of Pixie frog poop. I mean, massive. Sometimes, guys, you know, if you have reptiles, you think they do it on purpose. They just, you clean a tank, you clean the water, and then they haven't been going to the bathroom, and then they do.
Thank you guys for supporting my reptile rescue family.